Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Oxygen Not Included with me, your host, Luckymarine, and Sleeping and the Poopy Lenny. Yeah, we're going to have to move these toilets at some point, I think. Let's have a look at the oxygen overlay. Yeah, it's alright for now, but long term, we want them in our contaminated area, really. And we'll use a pump to get rid of the contaminated oxygen into special places. Alright, so that's that first cap over there. We will deconstruct just the buildings here and here. And we'll cap off this side as well. And also dig this out because this water seems to have stalled a little. But that's all you did. That is all you did. Come on. You just hit it with a hammer and then you're on and off. That doesn't work. This isn't how it works. Right, Lenny, get on the table of many hands. Go get touched. Yeah, I know it's quite hard down here, but you know, you can't get back, can you? Oh, you little spastic. Okay, right, alright, we'll build you a bridge. We will build you a bridge. It'll be fine. The little look on the face when you put something down. It's like, oh no. Do you want to build this? Do you want to build this? Yup. No, you can't. No, because you've been stupid. Aww. Do you want to? Alright, fine. We'll let you build it. Silly. Oh my word, what is... Well, let's just put a ladder here then. We nearly had another Sadie on our hand there. You stupid little man. Alright, deconstruct you. Yeah, I'm not surprised you're gasping for breath. I'm actually quite surprised how you've lived to the grand old age of however old you are. On your own, without guidance. You don't seem to make the best decisions in your life. Alright, more tiles. Let's get this capped off, and we'll also need... They need a 2-tile width height to get past anything. So, yeah. You know, you already know. You've been watching. Maybe. Where are you now? Mildred. Come on, Mildred. Sort your life out. Let's cancel that now. We're alright with... Yeah, we've got 12 tons of metal now. I think we will be alright, Mildred. Okay, so we have our roots in, our roots out. Power to it, great. And we've managed to put a pump at the bottom of the tank this time, which is nice. Try to get your pump in at the bottom very early before you fill your tank up, because if we'd have filled this up to the top and then try putting it out, you just wouldn't have been able to reach it. Well, let's prioritize you for digging, and then you'll be able to get to this. Still a bit nervous about the one skin. We may have to double skin this up. But, oh, got oxygen generation from the oxalite. Nice. With the oxalite, I believe that... Can we find one that's in a fully enclosed space where I can prove my theory? We can't. This was in a fully enclosed place. That's why it's still on the map. And when it's in a fully enclosed space, it can pressurize the oxygen around it to quite high degree, and then it just stops producing. It becomes inert when the atmosphere around it gets to... Does it say here? When the atmosphere around it gets to that pressure, it becomes inert. So you can save oxide lumps on the map. It doesn't really count here because it's blocked, but yeah. And so you can open these pockets and suddenly have access to oxalite, which helps a lot. Right, time for phase 2. Alright, go on that. And also we don't really want to be tiling this because we'll lose all the access to that copper. Because I very much doubt that they put it in bins. No, they shouldn't be struggling for breath here. They're right next to an oxide block. And this will be our poopy water chamber. Do we need the research? Do we need any more research? Temperature modulation. Temperature modulation into insulation? Yep. Might not need the scrubbers, but we will end up unlocking them at the end. You can't have super cooled vomit if you haven't got temperature modulation on the go. Right, we'll enable you. Are you still on that table, Lenny? Are you sure you need to be there? You only have 2% stress. 2% stress? I think most of the world has 2% stress all the time. It's just that stress for, do you know when you accidentally walk off the curb and it's like falling off a cliff because you're not expecting it? That's the type of 2% stress that you go around with all the time. Fear of walking off curbs. Just in the back of your mind. Alright, let's get this done now. Come on, guys. 2 people researching at the same time. I do like that. I do like that. And we've got access to a little bit of water. And this is the stresses that I was on about. This is what happens. This hasn't happened recently. This is when the water up here fell into this chamber down here and killed the hatch. As it broke through, it stressed out sandstone. Too thick sandstone, and yet it's not sandstone tile. I don't know what the resistance of just sandstone blocks in nature, in the wild, in their natural habitat are, but it stressed through 2 of them. And I'm seeing a lot of that very recently. A lot more stress is going on, and we don't want to fall foul of that. We don't want to be coming in here and digging things out and building more walls, because you can't repair. And so, well, at the moment it's not implemented into the game just yet. You can only rip that tile out and put another one in its place. Alright, are we nearly ready to continue? What priority is the... You're on an 8. Wow. Let's set the priority for that research table on a 5. How are you actually getting on? Well, fair enough, you are powering through it. I'll give you that much. Now, our base is going to be sort of above there, much like we did with the P-Dome. But we did sort of end up extending out this way, and this time I don't know, we ended up with a lot of pee and vomit caught in the gaps over here. I don't want that. So you right, Dylan? You come to watch me play my games? Come on then. So let's deconstruct these. We'll double tile this so it's a flat top. So ooh, you see this? This stressing in this tile. We need to support that fairly quickly. It'll just break through at some point, especially with this amount of water above it. So yeah, we'll just tile this whole corner. See, this is alright because there's no more stress above it, so it's released the stress, I assume. Here it's just going to get worse and worse and worse until it breaks through. And there's no health bar for a tile, so you can't just look and see, oh yeah, there's stress there, and there's no stress map overlay. I would love that. I would love something much like maybe the temperature map, where this would be red, but it'd also show where the stresses were around here. It won't be so much in the corner, you'd have in the middle here, where it's kind of at its weakest point. It's still strong, but it's at its weakest point, maybe be a little bit yellow. This will be red because of the amount of water that's above it. I'd like to see something like that. That'd be pretty cool. I mean, if our dupes automatically know all the temperature and all the gases, etc, etc, then they should know pressures. Alright, let's get you shored up. Although you've got sand and fertilizer, yeah, we're gonna have to block all of that up. And we'll just tile the flat there. Alright. And dig out the rest of you. Must have been a band of sand up here that dropped. And we will ladder down in various places. No. Concentrate on your digging. And get this tiled up as well. Last thing we need is for this to release. Because it's not going to release in a manner that we want and in a place where we want. And water, especially fresh water, you want to keep your fresh water fresh. And so if we do start running out, it'll probably be quite late game now. If we do start running out, we can dig into here, dig out a channel and fill this tank. It's not fill it all the way up, but it's a decent body of water there. We might as well use it as and when we need to. Might even just chuck a pump in it. Might be a secondary freshwater tank. Who knows? Who knows? The basalite, that's going to be hard to dig through. Granite's going to be hard to dig through as well. And as of yet, there's no real bonus to making things out of granite. Well, there is a little bit of a decor buff, but granite should be a lot harder than sandstone. We should be able to just double skin this in granite and it'll be fine. Igneous rock, obsidian, but it's an alpha. It's what you sign up for, and you know that they're going to do. You know that they're going to make changes. There are placeholders there. Let's get you de-stress as well. And did I need Mingwei? No, Mildred. Sorry, Mildred. No, you are. There are placeholders there, and you can see where they're going with it. It's unfortunate that they've made their hatch creatures a little less terrifying, but I don't know. I'm not a fan of making games easier just because 3 people have had a bad experience with an aspect. So, I mean, I got a dude eaten, and since then we've walled them in. You know, you learn to adapt to the threats that are on the map. You don't try and take them out of the game. Anyway, let's let's get some ladders going. Just out of sandstone, we'll be fine. And our that's chlorine down there. Chlorine and contaminated oxygen. All right. So let's build like that. Again, we'll make it 3 deep, which is a bit of a waste really. We're wasting a lot of space down here. But the last thing we need, the very last thing we need, wow, that's a lot of contaminated water. The last thing we need is for stresses on the bottom. I mean, I know that it'd be stressing out of tile and into granite, and therefore it'll probably be contained, but I don't really want to risk it. And dig that. So we'll cancel you lot. And we'll build it down to the bottom layer first, and then we'll just layer it up like a cake. Put the first layer down, second layer. Or like building a wall. That'd be a much more macho thing to say. I should have probably gone with a wall rather than a cake. But what can I say? I like cake. Who doesn't? Alright. Insufficient research. What? Insufficient resources. Research center idle. Why are you idle? Water. You need water. You need access to some sort of water. Right. If we give you a ladder up here, you'll be able to suck off this. Suck off. You'll be able to suck up this water. There we go. Yep. Alright. I expose the consumable, the oxalite, which is nice. I'll add to the oxygen in this chamber, which means that they don't have to go running off to breathe every now and then. I mean, breathing's good, but a little bit overrated for my little dupes. I will dig out a little bit more. No, we don't need you. Mildred, unlocking the toilet, unblocking the toilet even, with the face on. Well, Mildred, if you will poop in that toilet, you're gonna have to unblock it. See? Directly benefited from it. Straight away. We'll try not to undermine this oxalite until it's actually relinquished all its good stuff to us. We'll deconstruct that and we'll tile the bottom here as well. Now everything that does come down the shaft will sort of make its way into our pit. Our pit of vomit and pee and waste and anything else that comes out of these guys. Alright, bedtime. Bedtime. You need water. Yeah, they've sucked up they've sucked up all the water here. Right, let us... it's fertilizer. Well, we'll trust it to hold. I will ladder down here so they can actually get up and use this for the research. I'm not opening this. I'm not opening this for them. No way. There we go. That should be enough for them. The thing with the fertilizer is it's quite soft. Much like sand, if it's just one skin, it can press through. Hopefully the 2 skin will last. I might even tile up here. But that means exposing the water here just to 1 block worth of fertilizer, and it's a risk I'm not willing to take. Alright. The oxidizer block that was there is now gone. I will harvest the rest. Decent food. I knew as soon as we had at least 10 of these plants down, I knew we were going to be alright for food for the long term. Ming-Mai, any need for you to be on the stress? Oh really? Oh, we've done our research. Done our research into temperature modulation. Right, straight into insulation. And on you go. There should be enough water and enough... I think we need dirt and water for this. Come on boy. And... I have a very grumpy cat today, for some reason. And we will use the thermoregulator. It cools a gas piped through it, but outputs heat in its immediate vicinity. So we'll probably put it in the room where we have our batteries. Sort of like triple insulated, much like this. much to keep the heat in. And then we'll link a few of these together in series, so the gas goes into one, gets cooled, so goes into one, gets cooled, that cool gas goes into another one, gets cooled even further, goes into another one, gets cooled even further, and hopefully we can turn whatever gases that go through them into solids, and then see what we can do with the solids. We'll see if we can super cool, well, vomit, really? Well, we'll give it a go. We will give it a go. We'll see if that's an acceptable thing, and if it works, and if it's a viable tactic for getting rid of stuff, getting rid of waste gases. Anyway, that has been me for this episode. I've been Luckymarine. As always, you have been amazing. Join me in the next episode when we do some cool stuff and we dig out even more stuff. Well, more tanks. Our waste water tank, which will be the catch tank. It will have a lot bigger span, a lot wider span than our freshwater tank. That's just because it needs to catch more vomit, and with the pipe work that we're going to be putting into it and the vents that we want in place, we want to pack as many into a very small, sorry, that must have sounded horrific. We want to pack as many into a very small area as we can, so that we get the most out of them. There's no point in having 4 here and then the water being too deep to be able to service the gas vent, i.e. take it apart, put it back together again in order to get rid of the gas. Okay, so hope to see you in the next episode when we do all that cool stuff. Hopefully, maybe. It's taken a while, but we do have our freshwater tank done and dusted. We do have oxygen being created. I'm in 2 minds whether to get rid of the toilets and the massage table now and descend into madness, but we'll get our tank done first before we do that. And so yeah, from Mingwei, Lenny and Mildred, it's good night and it's goodbye from me. Do take care.